Okay, so yesterday we were learning Siman Kuf Yud Aleph, Hilchos Bedika, Ubitul Chometz. We got to the middle over here, and I just want to repeat, we learned one sif over here, sif vav, where he says, in sif vav, HaChadarim Shomeichem L'Goyim HaChometz, that the Chadarim that they sell to the guy with the Chometz, Kivin She'ein Moichen Ad L'Mocha, being that the sale takes place tomorrow morning. People come early if they don't wait till tomorrow morning to come to the Rav. But the sale takes place to the guy, Ad L'Mocha. In Kain, Chal Olav Alaylo Chiya Bedika, V'yia Chayiv B'Beika. So that means to say that if you have in your house, let's say, a room, and one room is the Chometz room, where you put away all the Chometz in that room. So he's saying over here that you have to be beidig that room also, for if there's any Chometz lying around over there. We're not talking about the Chometz that you put in for storage over there. If there's any Chometz lying around over, you have to be beidig that Chometz. So I said yesterday that the truth is that this is a machlokes between the Divrei Nehemiah and the Tzemach Tzedek. And I showed in Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch where the Divrei Nehemiah, who was a chassid of the Alter Rebbe and the Mittler Rebbe, and also he knew the Tzemach Tzedek, writes to the Tzemach Tzedek this shaila, and he says that it's kompemois that you have to be by the Chometz. And the Tzemach Tzedek answers him that he doesn't hold that way, and I explained that the Tzemach Tzedek shita is that you only have to be by the Chometz where it'll be your property on Pesach. So maybe there's a Chiyuv Bedika before Pesach, but it's not going to be your property in Pesach, because when we sell the Chometz to the guy, not only do we sell him the Chometz, we also rent him the places where the Chometz is laying. So I noticed I showed it in the Shulchan Aruch. It's in the surface from the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. In the back of the surface. But I see over here Rabbi Bisvitsky, when he made the kids Shulchan Aruch with the differences of the Rebbe, so he writes also over here, without Rabbeinu Hatzamah Tzedek, ein chiyuv bedika, im l'mocha yimka hacheda ayabayis. When he doesn't bring that's in the Ashrama to the Shulchan Aruch, but he says it's in Sharas and Shuvas or the Chaim Simon Mem Zayin. That shuva over there that's printed in the surface in the Shulchan Aruch is a shuva that Tzemach Tzedek made 6 volumes of Sharas and Shuvas. So that shuva is printed over the sheet of the Tzemach Tzedek. L'chayra, what's the big deal? Big by the Chometz. I mean, you're living in a one-family house, and you have, let's say, 10 rooms in the house. So big deal. Big deal. Big by the Chometz. The answer is there's a tremendous nafkamina halacha now between if we go with the sheet of the kids Shulchan Aruch, or if we go with the sheet of the Tzemach Tzedek. Now, let me tell you what it is. Many people, especially now, people go away for Pesach. I once said, years ago, when people went away for Pesach, years ago, like 20, 30 years ago, people went away for Pesach. When it started, this idea of going away for Pesach, so I said, the people that went away for Pesach begin to sort of become apologetic. They say, oh, I would never go away from my house from Pesach. I would never eat someplace else. My wife didn't feel good, and I had no breda, and I hate to do it, and everything. That was 30 years ago. Today, if you stay home, you have to apologize. Why you staying home? Because everyone's going away. So I always get the shaila. People come during the week before Pesach or 10 days before to Bedikas Chometz, and people always ask me the question about Bedikas Chometz. In other words, they're leaving the Pesach, and they want to know, do they have to be by the Chometz in their apartment, in their house? So the truth is, we will be learning later, even in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, dinim, if you buy the Chometz before Yudalid. So the din is that if you buy the Chometz before Yudalid, you have to be buy the Chometz with a candle, but not without a bracha. That's the din that the Shulchan Aruch says, and that the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch said. But a lot of people, it's a big problem. The problem is that before Bedikas Chometz, you have to clean the house, and you have to make the house peiseldik. And very rarely does someone find anything by Bedikas Chometz. It's already, the house was clean, and people even clean the walls. I mean, which you don't have to clean the walls. There's no Chometz on the walls really, but maybe a more gets height in the face when the children walked around the house and they were carrying some food, and they rubbed their hands. If you want to be makbam, but it's a big job to be by the Chometz. So people come to ask me what they should do. So this was a shayla that I remember people used to ask Rav Zalman Shimon what about Bedikas Chometz. Rav Zalman Shimon's answer to the people was a few parts to it. One part was that he would tell the people that be by the Chometz at least one room in your house. Why be by the Chometz at least one room in your house? Because Bedikas Chometz is also a ruchnis dekazach. The Gemara in Psachim, when the Gemara in Psachim talks about Bedikas Chometz and the Oiraner, so there's a Gemara in Psachim that says that there's a remez l'dava, that it's a psaruchnis deka'inyan. How do we know Oiraner? Because it says, I will search you shalayim b'neiros. It has to do with when they keep his goliaths and everything, when they bring the Jews together. So Bedikas Chometz is also not just you searching with your little candle, but the Eibishter also is searching with his candle, and to get together all the Yidden and Ner Hashem Nishma Sodom and all the things. Or he would tell the people, if you're going away someplace else, and this is very important, when you go away someplace else, let's say you're going away to a hotel. So you come to the hotel, and you arrive at the hotel, and you check in, and they give you a number with a key to your room. The din is, hamaska soicha bayis lachaveiroi, if someone rented out a house to his chaver, ala soicha livdoi, the soicha has to. So when you arrive in a hotel, you have to be by the Chometz in that room. That's your room. Okay. And you have to be by the Chometz with a candle.
But you're never selling the high. You just make a ticket without selling the Chometz.
But the room, maybe someone left Chometz in the room over there. Maybe someone left Chometz and the room wasn't cleaned good. Even was clean, but you have to be by the Chometz. The Soicha, there's a whole sugi in the Gemara in the beginning of Sochem of a Soicha bayis nachabeira about Bo also, who has to be by the, does the Soicha have or the masker? And the halacha is that the Soicha has to be by the one who rented it with a bracha, and with a candle, even though the Gemara said that we don't use a candle during the day because shraga b'tira maya hamilei. What's the good of it? That's when they were sak and bedika, they took that in consideration. But if you have to be by the Chometz during the day because you weren't by the Chometz before, you have to use a candle. So you will be by the Chometz. Supposedly, you know the halacha that everyone that goes to the hotel, not unless the owner says that I was by the Chometz all the rooms. I mean, I don't know how much you can rely on that, but supposedly, but there is another eitzah. The eitzah is that when you come to the Rav to sell the Chometz, say you're selling also the whole house. If you're selling the whole house, b'meila, so it's the guy's house when Pesach comes. However, this eighth of selling the house, which a lot of people do, doesn't work according to the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. It only works according to the Tzemach Tzedek.
Doesn't work for the night before.
It doesn't work for the night before. So according to the Tzemach Tzedek, that says that you don't have to be baidik the room where you put away the Chometz, even though you're storing Chometz in there, and the sale will first take place the next day. Zok the Tzemach Tzedek, you don't have to be baidik. Like you say, kemef hakayfen, the whole house, and b'meila there's no shaila. But according to the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, that says that the sale doesn't apply to Patiya for Bedikas Chometz, but Mela selling the apartment or the house doesn't apply to Sayyid from Bedikas Chometz if you're going away and if you will be buried Chometz in the other place. So there's a big nafkamina halacha in practical halacha, a big nafkamina practical halacha between the two opinions. Now,
So what is the bottom line? What is the bottom line? What they should do?
The people sell it. They sell the house.
They debate it wherever they go.
They're buying with to be yotze this in your bedika.
But they're in another place.
They do it in the other place.
But when you check Bedikas Chometz, it's owned by the guy. It's owned by the Yid.
But if you're a seicher, you're renting an apartment. The apartment belongs to Goyim, and you're renting it, so you have to be by the Chometz. Our seicher, the Gemara has a question if our masker to live there or our seicher live there, and the Gemara said that the seicher is the one
And
has
if
to
you
be
go
by
to a
there.
family,
What?
if you go into a family and not renting, you
So
stay.
over there, so you can make up with the family saying that you will help them in the Bedikas Chometz, or you pay them rent for your room that they're giving you, and you'll be by Chometz your room. No, just not much time left, but I want to. Rabbi Tzalo asked me a question as I walked in over here. It's really negated to a little bit what we're going to learn later, but being that he asked the question, and the question has parts to it, so I just want to explain it b'kitzur. He asked me a question when people sell the Chometz to the rabbi, and let's say let's make it easier. Someone lives in Los Angeles, and he sells Chometz to a rabbi.
It's 3 hours. This is what I mentioned. You're
Okay,
right, but it's 6 hours.
Over there's 4 hours.
3 hours is also no good. When the hour is the hour, makes no difference how many hours.
Yeah, over
1
there,
hour.
the idea is the same. So could a person that lives in Los Angeles sell the Chometz to a rabbi in New York?
Rabbis in New York, they sell a chelik earlier for the Abbot.
No,
Huh?
Rabbi does that.
that's the,
But when the rabbi sells the Chometz to the guy in New York, let's say 10 o'clock in the morning in Eretz Yisrael, I'm sorry, in Los Angeles, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. And then 8 o'clock in the morning, this man's going to wake up and have a donut with a coffee.
Stealing from the guy.
So the question is, and then where did he get the donut? He went to the morning to the store and he bought a pack of donuts. And he didn't finish the donuts, so he put away the rest of the donuts with his Chometz, right? But his
bought it
Chometz,
after he sold it?
he bought it after he sold it.
Also, the other place.
Oh, and no. And Reb Hirsch was asking the question, so what happens with after Pesach? After Pesach, the rabbi in New York buys back the Chometz,
And
let's
you
say
still
10
have
o'clock at night, and 10 o'clock at night in California is 7 o'clock, so is the, by him is the Pesach, right? So let me tell you a little bit from practical rabbinic experience.
The person who's asking the question, who is that place? Is in Los Angeles or is it?
What?
Los
Who is
Angeles.
it?
Los Angeles.
That he don't like.
Oh no, he's asking a good question. The
Who is
person
it?
selling the Chometz who wants to sell it from Los Angeles in New York, is he still in Los Angeles or is he coming to New York?
No, okay, one second. Okay, one second. That's another question. That's not. So if he's coming to New York,
He has no problem because they're all in New York. Everything is New York.
I know, but he has things in
Okay.
California.
okay. So we'll have it's a third question, okay? Okay. So first of all, I want to tell you an interesting thing. There is a chakira. Does the Issa Chometz go according to the Gavra or according to the Chefza? That's a chakira. Nafkamina is, if a person from California is coming to New York and he has Chometz in California, how does he work out with the sale? The minig in Lubavitch by the Rabbeim was that they don't sell the Chometz, or they don't authorize, they don't make a shtar show with the Rav. The Rav is not buying Chometz. The Rav is getting a power of attorney to sell your Chometz for you. But the Rabbeim didn't make a shtar mechira, a shtar hashor with the Rav. They made a shtar mechira. They sold it to the Rav. Why they did that? It could be because they didn't want to have dealings with goyim. It could be that's just a guess. They didn't want to. So this way, I sold it to the Rav. What the Rav does with it is his problem. But I don't deal with a goy. Siglana Mova Amaisa, maybe you'll bail me out on that. There was a story that the Rebbe went to visit Gan Yisrael. He went a few times, but the first time when the Rebbe went to visit Gan Yisrael, I was Baruch Hashem, I was there. And after he visited Gan Yisrael, he went to Camp Amunah. And in Camp Amunah, the Rebbe asked for a glass of water, and a guy brought him a glass of water, and the Rebbe gave him a $20 tip. He's given a pella. It's nice to give a guy a tip, but usually if a guy will give you a glass of water, you give him $1, the guy will be very happy. And why did the Rebbe give him $20? Because it was a mice with the Frierdiker Rebbe when he was once traveling in a train. And also in the trains they used to have food and someone brought the Rebbe something, and the Rebbe also gave him a big tip. And the Rebbe explained that he didn't want that the guy should have any schus for helping him. But so it's sort of like he paid him off generously, so he can't claim that any schus. You got paid for kach shemaiti. So it could be that the reason why the Rebbe made a shtar mechira with the Rav and not a shtar hashor, because the shtar hashor, the Rav becomes the representative of the Rebbe to sell it to the guy. So he didn't want that his chometz should go to a guy or have business with a guy. So that's a swap. But we learned that from that shtar mechira that the Rebbe made, we learned the big chiddush. The Rebbe put into the shtar mechira addresses where he has the chometz.
Australia, I think.
And one of the addresses was Australia. Stelzel the Frage,
was already
the night of Bedikas Chometz in Australia is already the next morning, the next day in the afternoon. The Chassimin that the Rebbe hold that the Issa Chometz is according to the Gavra, not according to the Chefza. And we found that the Rebbe was in New York, so to him it was before Pesach. That's one answer. But it still doesn't answer the question with California and New York. So it's a problem. It's a problem that bothered me, because I have people, shluchim, that send me the shtaras from Texas. I have shluchim from California. I have people they want to sell to me the chometz. So what I do is, besides the chometz that I sell to the guy, besides that, I also make every year a shtar mechira with Rabbi Reichik or Hashem, with Shimon Reichik. And I make with him that those people from California and Arizona and Texas, that by them it became Pesach comes later, if they had any chometz after they sold me the chometz, so he sells that chometz. So that solves that problem. There is a rabbi in California by the name Rabbi Moshe Kesselman that also sends me a shtar for the reverse, for people that from his Baal Batim that went to New York for Pesach, and they sold him the chometz, so he sends me also a shtar. Okay. Now, let's talk about buying back. What happens when you buy back? The question is that when you buy back in New York, in California, it's still Pesach. I asked Rabbi Shimon this question many years ago, and his answer to me was a very simple answer. The answer was, when I buy back the chometz, he answered me in Yiddish, of course, not in English, but when ich kauf zurück the chometz, kauf ich für sich. In other words, when I'm selling the chometz, I'm selling it as a representative of all the people. But buying back, the guy after Pesach has to either pay, or I offer him, you know what, you're looking for a customer? I'll be the customer. So I'm not buying for the people that I'm representing. I'm buying from him the chometz. So he says, ich kauf für sich, und wenn jener will kommen nehmen, soll kommen nehmen. That's the answer to that question. There's one more question. I'll tell you an interesting way, a method that I have. I used to have, the shul wasn't the Lubavitch shul, it was a Balbatish shul, Balbatim. And I had people that went to Eretz Yisrael for Pesach. Over here is a bigger problem in California. California, the problem is maybe the guy, like I said, he bought a box of donuts, and maybe he'll put away the leftover donut. If a person's going to Eretz Yisrael, so then when we sell the chometz over here, 10 o'clock in the morning in Eretz Yisrael, it's already 9 o'clock in the evening. They're sitting by the Seder already. Kum techayis that he didn't sell his chometz. That's a big problem. So there are rabbanim that told people, oh, you're going to Eretz Yisrael, sell the chometz in Eretz Yisrael. I had with that a few problems, difficulties with this question. In Eretz Yisrael, I told a person, an American Jew, who's going to Eretz Yisrael for Pesach, he's staying in the King David Hotel. Where's he going to find that off out of Pesach? He doesn't know where to go look for it off. That's number one. Number two, if he's leaving, we must say this year, if he's leaving, Thursday night is the night from Bedikas Chometz, right? If he's leaving Thursday night at Yisrael, when's he going to arrive in Eretz Yisrael? Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, if a note of an Eretz Yisrael is going to take the chometz from him. So it's not going to work. There was also another problem. There were people that they would wait for Erev Pesach to be mahana the Rav, so to say, to give the Rav a few dollars. I had people that said to me, Rabbi, I like Mechiras Chometz. One time a year, I still sign my name in Yiddish or in Hebrew. So what do I do with these people? And I'm going to tell them, go look and go find. What I did, I came up with a concept. I have another shtar. And the other shtar is a shtar matana between him and me. That he is giving me his chometz b'matana. And I give him $1 to rent the places where the chometz is laying. And the chometz becomes my chometz. And when I sell my chometz, I put on my list my chometz, I put down not only my address, I also put his address, because I have chometz
So
there.
like the Rebbe did. Similar.
And B'meila, he had no problem. He goes away to Eretz Yisrael. He has no problem. Okay, that's some tricks of the trade, so to say.
The guy in California that bought a Danish in the morning.
What was that? Yeah.
That bought a Danish in the morning. One thing problem was the Shiloh. His buying comments is Mavasa the Spanish.
No,
Right on the captain.
he has 5 donuts left over.